That's good. Okay, thank you. Thank you, all of us to join this webinar. This webinar is dedicated to the presentation of our executive doctorate in business administration. I am Professor Michel Kelika, Emeritus Professor in the University of Lyon, and I am President of the Business Science Institute. Professor Varden, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello. My name is Lars Meyer-Warden. I'm professor at University of Toulouse, Toulouse School of Management Business School, and I'm in charge of the DBA in Vietnam and in Thailand.
Okay, and Marie-Pierre joined également also the meeting, and she's a part of our support team, and she manages all the relationship with the students. Welcome, Marie-Pierre. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, first of all, maybe some technical point. You can ask a question through Q&A. You want to explain that, Marie-Pierre? Or do you want me to do it?
Your
microphone, Marie-Pierre.
Sorry. To react from the to this presentation, you can either click on the Q&A button or you can use the chat button to communicate with us.
Okay. First of all, what we will be talking about, we will present shortly Business Science Institute. We will explain why a DBA, the difference between MBA, PhD, DBA. We will explain the content of our program, the main distinctive features, and the condition of access, of course, and we will be available to answer to all your questions. So maybe the Business Science Institute, in short, the program has been created in 2013 to answer an unmet demand of international manager, international MBA graduates or equivalent. And these people, they wanted to go ahead, they wanted to enhance their professional experience through academic and theoretical reflection, and they wanted to write a thesis, and also they wanted to potentially publish a book in our collection. Today, Business Science Institute, it's around 200 executive DBA students coming from 43 countries in the East, in the West, from all the world. And 80 theses has been defended, has been presented, and moreover, we publish a large number of theses. Our partner for this program is the public university in Lyon, IAE Lyon. It is the School of Management of the University of Lyon, and they are accredited by EFMG for their international program. As I said before, the main reason why we created the Business Science Institute is because we are in contact. We are professors in management. We teach in MBA program. We are in contact with managers, and they ask us to do more than an MBA program. And these people, they saw that the PhD, the traditional PhD program are not adapted. And that's the reason why we created Business Science Institute and this executive DBA program to meet this specific demand from manager. And of course, we have a high quality international professor resources because we have a lot of network. And in Business Science Institute today, we have more than 100 professors. Maybe Professor Varden, you can explain why a DBA for top management? Please unmute.
Sorry. Yeah, actually, it's a mean to differentiate a lot of candidates which have already a master degree or MBA to differentiate themselves on the job market and to access to top management positions, because today in a lot of firms the doctor degree is one condition to access to top management positions, and therefore doctor degree is very important. But traditional PhDs might not be adapted to managers because of the work rhythm. Because first of all, it's too theoretic for managers, who might find it hard to do a very theoretical orientated PhD. And second, it's much longer because it might last 5 or more years to get the PhD. And therefore, the DBA is an alternative, a practical doctor degree for those managers who want like a doctor degree and who also want like to teach, because now also in business schools, they require a doctor degree because of the accreditations.
And so maybe you can go ahead with.
So the DBA is actually perfectly fitting for managers who have already more than 5 years experiences and who are searching for new intellectual challenge, but also challenge in terms of job promotion. And at the same time, they might have a practical research question or practical question from the managerial life on which they would like to work, not on the long term, like a consultant. So the work within the DBA, the research work within the DBA over different years can help to give an answer to the specific managerial problem. And that is why the DBA is perfectly fitting to managers. The difference, as I just said, in terms of between a DBA and a PhD, the DBA is really adapted for experienced managers or lectures in higher education. The PhD prepares to an academic university career. So that's the main difference. The end purpose is for the DBA staying in the company, access to top management positions. Why not become lecturer or adjunct professor in the business school? As I just said, it is more based on applied knowledge, whereas a PhD aims at creating theoretical knowledge, which it might be sometimes a little bit far away from the practical problems a manager might be faced to. And the topic comes from the manager. He has a manager research question on which he would like to work, whereas for a PhD, it's rather suggested by a professor because it's theoretical oriented. The target group for the PhD is master students who directly engage into an academic career, whereas the DBA perfectly fits to practitioners having more experience and who might find it hard to come back to very theoretical PhD thesis. That's also for the age, so higher, between an average between 30, 45 years old. The duration is shorter, 3 to 4 years, whereas a PhD is in average rather 4, sometimes even 5 or 6 years. PhD is full-time, whereas the DBA is part-time because the managers stay in the firm and do the DBA next to the job. And the managers are searching for legitimacy in the professional world, whereas the PhD aims at searching legitimacy in the academic world. And finally, in terms of publication outlets, it's more book, whereas for a PhD, researchers are aiming journals. So in conclusion, why a DBA for managers? Because DBA students can do a very great contribution to research, but also to the firm. So they have a high important managerial contribution because the starting point is a business problem, a real problem they face in the company and on which they want to work on a long term, together with a highly qualified DBA, doctoral supervisor. And the DBA dissertation creates thus theoretical knowledge, but applied to a practical business problem.
Maybe we can explain now how the program is organized. The average length of the program is 3.5 years for all the students until now. Since we have AMBA accreditation in December, formally our program is on 4 years. And it means mainly 3 steps. The first step, it is the first year. It is courses that permit you to select your research topic and identify the research supervisor. The courses, the seminar are about managing the executive DBA thesis, thematic paradigms, and quantitative methodology, qualitative methodology, and so on. At the end of this first year, you can prepare the certificate of research in business administration. Then during the phase 2, it means mainly the second year, you have a local follow-up seminar or online seminar, and also an international week in Luxembourg in the castle of Wils, where all our students are coming. And then during the third phase, third step, you will write your thesis, prepare the defense, and have your defense in the Wils castle, and you will obtain the degree from Business Science Institute and also the degree from the University of Lyon. Maybe we can give some details, Professor Warden.
Yeah, sure, with pleasure. So in the first year, which happened in Vietnam, so in Ho Chi Minh City, or in Hanoi, or for the Bangkok track in Bangkok, you will learn basic courses in management science. So the first course is what we expect or what you have to do for the executive DBA thesis. And you will have seminars in the different disciplines of management science, that is marketing, organizational behavior, finance, accounting, strategic management, IT management, so the basic disciplines in management science. And then it depends also on which discipline you want to do the thesis. You can do it in marketing, finance, OB, organizational behavior, and strategic management. That is why this brings you the basic literature and shows you the basic literature in the different disciplines. And you have also methodologically courses about qualitative and quantitative methods, which you need to do your empirical investigation to analyze the data. And again, you have seminars that helps you to find the research topic and to write a thesis, how to write the thesis. Then in step 2, you have a monthly follow-up with your supervisor. So you very quickly find a supervisor for you, the best specialist according to the topic. That is, we look at specific topic you want to work on, and then we have a look on, because we are more than 100 professors in the Business Science Institute network. And we look then which is the best professor that fits to your individual topic. And in the monthly follow-up, you work on the conceptual framework with the hypothesis or research questions. He or she will help you to with the data collection, how to raise your empirical investigation, and he gives you advice about how to write the thesis. So these are monthly follow-ups. And in step 3, you're still in every year, every month, you have the follow-up with the supervisor. You have a seminar about how to write the thesis. And then in the last step, once you're ready, once you have done your literature review, elaborated your conceptual model, hypothesis or research question, done your empirical investigation, so written your thesis and discussion of the results, then you will give the thesis to the supervisor. He will give you green light or not to the next step. There will be a pre-defense with the report of 2 reviewers, and the final defense will happen at the Business Science Institute at Wils Castle in Luxembourg, and you will also get graduated. It's generally in the last week of September. we have the International Week, and this is also what I omitted to say with the courses you have in the first year. After the first year, you so the beginning of your second year actually, there's one International Week in Luxembourg where we can see your classmates, the older classmates' defenses, so you can see how they defend, what is the defense, and you will also have seminars, research seminars, and above all meetings with the network of professors and with the network of the worldwide DBA students coming from other countries. So that's very important.
And so we can highlight the fact that at the end of the program, you will receive 2 degrees. 1 degree from Business Science Institute, and the name of this degree is Executive Doctorate in Business Administration, accredited, AMBA accredited since last year, and ranking 4th by Dubai DBA ranking in 2020. And moreover, you will receive also the DBA, Doctorate of Business Administration of the Public University of Lyon, of the University of Lyon. And that's an indication about the international recognition of our program. What are the main distinguishing features of Business Science Institute? Or maybe the first point, and that's an important point, Professor Varden, you can highlight that point.
Yeah, so actually it's a network organization. So we have more than 100 members of professors, fully recognized, international recognized professors, publishing in all fields of management science. So we have, they all have a doctor degree, because it's also very important. And Professor Kalika just talked about accreditations. So it's really important that the institution has really professors having a doctor degree able to supervise research. So in all domains of research, of management science, and it could be marketing, could be finance, it could be IT, it could be supply chain management, whatever. And just recently, we had a student in Indonesia, family business. And so we found a specialist in family business. So you can be sure that we will find the best recognized professor and specialist in the domain. And this shows and proves the excellence of our faculty and dedicated to your success and to bring you really to the defense.
Indeed, that's a real strength of the program, the fact that we have a very large and very rich faculty in this program. So the main distinctive point are that we are a true DBA for manager. That's an important point. Of course, international recognition, we mentioned that before, international accreditation. And you know, in the world, there are not a lot of DBA programs that are accredited by AMBA or by other organizations. Of course, all the professor, Professor Varden mentioned, all the professor, all the PhD and are full academic professor. Another point that we have to mention is the fact that we are very responsive because you are manager, because you are all over the world. The responsiveness is part of our DNA. And it means that both our support team and our professor will be available to support you. The support that we can bring to the students is a key success factor of the program and the explanation of the very good rate of success. And of course, you have the opportunity of publication in our collection. Indeed, we have nearly 30 books published in a few years. 50% of the books are published by the faculty of the program, and 50% are published by the doctor. And they present here the result of their thesis. And they also indicate what is the impact of their research. You know, for us, what is very important is the DBA is not only a degree. the DBA for Business Science Institute is a way to create managerial and societal impact. And that's why we created a DBA Managerial Impact Award. And every year, so we mention what is the thesis with the main impact. But in all the theses that are defended, the students, the DBA student, they have to formulate recommendation and to indicate how their research is useful for their company, for themselves, or globally, more globally for the society. Professor Varden?
Yeah, so perhaps you are wondering now if you're a good candidate for the DBA program. That's probably why you're here today. So the conditions of access to the DBA is having a master degree, MBA, or master degree in economics, management, engineering, law, science, medicine, and that you have at least 5 years working experience in managing positions. So these are the criteria of access.
Yes, but actually, we have to say that the average age is more than 30. The average age of our students is around 45. And it means that some students are quite young, they are 30, 35, and some students are older, they are around 50, 55, even 60 or 70. All our students have, all of them, they have a large experience, and that's an important element.
And all the students have actually a real company coming, because I see that some have joined us during the webinar. They weren't in the beginning in this webinar. So they have really a company-orientated, management-orientated research question on which they work during the 3 or 4 years. Yeah, to apply online, we have here Marie-Pierre. She's our assistant, so we have to submit a CV to the executive DBA advisor, so scientific@businessscienceinstitute.com, but you will find the information on our website. Then there will be an invitation to proceed to the next stage of the application procedure. You have to complete the online application with different documents that you have to deliver, your diploma, CV, provisory research topic. And then there will be an interview with an academic member of the staff. Generally it's me for Vietnam and Thailand. Then we will decide if you get the access to the DBA. And finally, it will be reviewed for final decision by the International Scientific Committee.
Okay, now we are available to answer your question if you have any. You can ask your question through the Q&R or the chat, or if you want, you can also talk. I give you the permission to the different member. I give the...
I see that we have 2 new. So Markus Ganterer, you're probably from Germany, and Paul Klepwatintot. Where do you come from? Thailand, Vietnam? Perhaps you can give us...
Thailand.
Thailand, okay, Paul from Thailand. And Markus?
I'm German, but I live in Thailand.
Okay, so we have 2 from Thailand and 1 from Vietnam. Yeah, do you have any questions? Because you joined us a little bit later, perhaps there's some points that were not clear for you.
Anyway, you will receive the recording of the webinar, or you will receive the PowerPoint of the webinar.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, to really watch it. I'm sorry I was a little bit late.
No problem.
so I can rewatch it again. So was there any mentioning about the cost, or is there anything about that online, or how is that working?
Marie-Pierre, you can answer that point, please. Unmute.
Yes, hello. The fees, you were asking for the fees, right?
Correct.
The fees are 25,000 euros, but we can make a financial plan to be sure that you'll be able to pay the amount of 25,000 euros. And what was the other question?
Settlements, it can be paid in different settlements.
And yes, in 2 or till 4 settlement will be okay, installment. It depending on your situation.
Yeah, and is there any offline, or like?
Well, due to the situation,
is it all on? Is it all online, or can I have access to professor, or meet in person, or is there any academic? That if you go to the university, right, you have lectures. Is it completely online or also offline, if I may call it offline?
Usually it was meant to be face-to-face sessions, but due to the COVID situation, we cannot say or see when exactly it's going to be face-to-face again. So it will start probably online and then switch to face-to-face afterwards when it's possible, feasible.
Okay, understood.
Perhaps I can complete. So actually, that's what Marie-Pierre said. It's so the next batch will start probably in September. So we plan to open the next batch. We open once a year. For both destinations. But if we have enough students, we can even start before. But let's start. I think it's realistic that we start in September. Then again, it depends on the COVID situation. So if it starts generally with me, because I'm doing the introductory seminar, the seminar about how to do research, and the seminar about marketing, research and marketing. So if I can join, it depends on the immigration in Thailand, because in Europe it's much less severe than in Thailand and Vietnam. If I can come in September, we do it offline. So in any case, I will come, but I'm not sure that it will, that I can come. But as Marie-Pierre said, so as soon as we can join again Thailand and Vietnam, we will pass through physical seminars. But actually now we have also the advantage that we have learned a lot during the COVID to do things online. So that is why we can even do combined sessions, which means that if, for example, even some of you cannot join the physical seminar in Bangkok, Hanoi, or in Vietnam, Hanoi, or Ho Chi Minh City, then we can even do combined hybrid teaching. So that's actually one of our advantages. We are very flexible, but indeed we try as soon as possible to switch back to physical seminars.
So sorry for being late as well, but I don't know if you already mentioned it, but how long is the actual course?
The DBA, it's between 3 and 4 years. You mean the overall length of the DBA, or what do you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years. So actually, perhaps Michelle, you could go just back to the slide where we have the overlook of the courses. So it's actually in the first year, you have the introduction how to do research. So it's fully happening in your country, so either Thailand, either Vietnam. So we will learn how to manage, how to write a DBA thesis, and then you have different seminars about thematic paradigms, that is research in finance, research in marketing, research in IT, research in supply chain management, accounting, human resources management, strategic management. So the main disciplines of business administration. You will also have seminars about qualitative and quantitative methodology, because you have to do an empirical investigation on your topic. And as we stated in the beginning, the topic comes from your side. So you have a problem, company-oriented problem in your firm on which you would like to work on. So it's a business problem, for example, I don't know what, how technology is accepted, for example, smart technologies are accepted in Thailand or in Vietnam. And then you have the data coming from your firm, or you're doing an investigation and field survey. So you learn how to do qualitative research, quantitative research, how to analyze the data. So this is in the first year. And after the first year, you're defending a certificate of research in business administration. So it's 1 week, it happens in Luxembourg, because we have one international week where you meet all the professors and the other DBA students. And it's 1 week where you defend after 1 year your final research proposal. So if you have 1 year where you learn how to do your research in management science, where you formulate your research topic, where you have already a supervisor, and after the first year you defend it, and you pass into the second and third year, where you have no lectures anymore, only follow-ups. That is monthly meetings with your supervisor, your doctorate supervisor, and you have also some follow-up meetings where a committee of the international professors of the Business Science Institute will have a look also on your advancement. And then after the third or the fourth year, you will do a pre-defense and will defend. So it lasts 3 to 4 years. And in summary, you have lectures, weekend or evening lectures in the first year, and in the second and third year, you're working fully on your thesis. Is that clear for you?
Yep.
Maybe I can add that in Business Science Institute, we have only one program, an executive DBA program. But this program is taught in 3 languages, French, English, German. And we have 2 large delivering modes. One is face-to-face, and one we are talking about here for Vietnam and for Thailand, and we have 2 cohorts in Bangkok, is a face-to-face track. But we have also another delivering mode, I will say 100% online, except the international week. But here we are talking about a face-to-face group, either in Vietnam, either in Thailand. But it is always, whatever the delivering mode, it is the same program, the same faculties, the same DBA thesis, the same degree.
The same exigencies.
Absolutely.
And what is important, also we're very proud about that, about the rankings. We are very well ranked, and we have the AMBA accreditation, which is very important for us because of, there are not a lot of DBA degrees having this accreditation. And that is actually important for us because there are a lot of non-serious providers on the markets for the DBAs. And that is certainly one of the main distinctive features we have compared to a lot of other providers on the market.
We are the only DBA program with a specific collection of books, which indicate very, very precisely what the faculty expect from the students. For example, we wrote a book on research method for the DBA. We wrote a book on how to successfully complete your DBA. We wrote a book on discovering new theory during the DBA. Another one just published in September. It's about the project thesis that you have to present at the end of the first year. It means that the students, the manager, our doctoral student, they are not alone. First of all, we are responsive. It means that we are here to support, to help. And moreover, we publish books that indicate very clearly how to manage your DBA project. Other question, please?
There was I've just answered in the chat. Henry asked for price. And so it's in total 25,000 euros, as Marie-Pierre said, in total. But again, there are possibilities for different, to pay in different settlements. We don't have scholarships. That might perhaps also one question, because we are among the least expensive on the market. Indeed, big business schools sometimes have scholarships because they have very high tuition fees, and this is not in our policy. We have a lower price, but that is why we don't offer scholarships. Here Marcus has a question. In Bangkok, there's a place where can I start and meet other students or professors? That's actually we have no campus, because this would increase our overhead. So when we do lectures, we do it generally in a conference room in a hotel, which is easily accessible for the student managers and the professors, so generally downtown in Bangkok. And we do it the same in Ho Chi Minh City in order to avoid too long travel times due to traffic jams. And that is why we do it. We don't do it on a campus. We do it in a hotel. And you can meet the other students once we open the batch. You can even, if you want, you have my email address. You can write me. I can put you in contact with the former batches. We have now opened 2 batches in Thailand. If you want to discuss with them, I can connect you with them. So we can meet them. I can discuss with them already, and with the students of your batch. You meet them once we come back to physical seminars, but also online. You have the contact details, and generally we meet for the seminars with the students. So you can meet them, and then you can meet whenever you want. It's very important. That's a good question. To meet your classmates in order to exchange, because research is discussion. The more you discuss, the more you present, the better, the richer it becomes for you. That is why we invite you to stay in contact, to have a strong connection, and to meet them. And the professors, as they're not in Bangkok, there's one professor living in Bangkok, but most of the professors are international. They come, you meet them during the time in Bangkok or in Vietnam. Or if you want, you can also meet them online. And now with Zoom, it is easy, feasible. How many students are in each year? How many years has the DBA in place? So so in Thailand, we have, it would be the 3rd batch. So it would be the 3rd year, or it will be the 3rd year this year. So we have 2 batches. And in the first batch, we had, as we said, we focus very strongly on service quality and very strong connections between the professors and the students. So we don't want very big batches. And so the first batch is 5 students. The second batch is now only 2 students, but this is probably related to the COVID situation. So we hope again to have between 5 and maximum 10 students for the next batch.
Okay, I can say that globally today, we have 200 doctoral DBA students from more than 40 countries. Each year, so we have around 40 to 50 new students in our different tracks. But there is a main difference between DBA and MBA program in terms of size. Our group are always small groups of very motivated students, from 3 to 7 or 8 students in each country. And to answer to your question, why Thailand or why Vietnam, I can say why not. Our students are coming from more than 40 countries. Some are from Singapore, China, Australia, United States, Canada, Africa, all the countries in Europe. So because we are a network organization, when a professor is interested to open and to manage a group, we do it. And it was a case of Professor Lars Varden, who knows quite well Thailand. He teaches there since several years. And that's why we open new group. And but you know, our objective is to be a main actor internationally in the field of DBA, because we have only this program, and we are the only institution in the world with only one DBA program. So because of our specialization strategy, we can open groups everywhere in the world.
And I think to just complete why Thailand, Vietnam, because we think we have in China, now we have a very big batch in China. I think something like 20 students already in the first year. So we think there's a big potential, and doctor degrees, and the education is now an international affair. It's not a local, not a national affair. So that is why we think that we are convinced that in Thailand, Vietnam, the potential and the need for doctors is important, because first of all, the business schools need doctors, and second, also because now more and more students have a master degree, which is not enough to differentiate anymore on the job market. And so the next step is for those, for the so-called high potential, and to access top management positions, to have the doctor degree. And that is why we believe that in Thailand, Vietnam, the things are not different than in Germany or in France or in Europe. And that's the reason. And just one point, how many years the DBA? So in Thailand, it's 3 years. In Vietnam, it would be the first batch. But the DBA was created, the Business Science Institute was created in 2013. Professor Michel Kalika, I think it's 80 years now that you have created the Business Science Institute, right?
Yes, Business Science Institute was created in 2013. The first track, the first group, it was in 2013.
Yeah, so we have a now very important experience, and that is why AMBA, I think they have seen that we are now in the major situation, almost 10 years now, and more than 80 defenses, more than 200 students. So we're starting to become major worldwide. Basically, most students are based in Europe, but that is why we start also the international. And your final question, it's a more complicated question. That's typically, I'm German like you, so perhaps Michel, actually the universities in Germany are fighting against the DBA. So we have always had a very special situation that universities want to defend the PhD. That is why you have a strong resistance to this acceptance of the DBA. There are some judgments. There was already, if you want, there's an article in the Süddeutsche Zeitung where they talk that it's fully recognized, but actually I'm not so in these legal parts. Perhaps, I don't know, Michel, you're much more familiar with this topic. I don't know if you want to say some words about this topic.
Or the regulation about the title or the degree are different. It depends on the country. So each situation it's specific, but we can say that anyway for manager, the DBA degree is fully recognized. It's a degree that permits to present a thesis in front of a jury and to be recognized for the creation of knowledge that you have been doing based both on theory and managerial experiences.
But actually it's going on. It's advancing, and as the journals in Germany are talking about that, it is on the point to get resolved. And to your question, teaching at university, yes, you can. It becomes now even compulsory for the business schools, and above all in Thailand, in emerging countries, you have quite a lot of lecturers which have a DBA degree and not a PhD degree, because the PhD might be, above all, it was last year was in Cambodia, where we had also the idea to do the same. And there, the idea to do a DBA because the PhD is too heavy for them. So that is why in emerging countries, namely Vietnam, Thailand, and Cambodia, you can teach in European business schools. We have also the example, where I was in the defense of a French candidate who's teaching at Neoma, which is a French business school. He has also done the DBA of the BSI. So you can teach. It's not the main aim, as Professor Kalika just said. The main aim is most managers stay in the firm, but you can actually teach with the DBA.
Do you have a last question, please? Time is now over, and we can keep in touch, of course, by email or by personal contact. Do you have a last question you would like to ask?
So in any case, in the presentation, you have my email address. You have the address of Marie-Pierre. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to come back to me for more pedagogical aspects. For the administrative aspects, is rather Marie-Pierre, but you can also write to me, then I will transfer the message. But if you have any questions about the topic, if a topic fits, how it is organized, so all these questions, don't hesitate. We can even organize a Zoom meeting or WhatsApp, whatever you prefer to answer your questions.
Excuse me, Marcus, I missed your question about the title in Germany. Excuse me about that. I just see it on Q&A. I can say that one of our doctor in Germany obtained from the public authority the title of a doctor in front of her name after her DBA defense. So I will say that it's less and less an issue now. Yes, so the DBA title is more and more recognized in all the world. That's true. Another question? Is it okay for you? We stop now. So bye-bye. Thank you for joining, and we keep in touch. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much. And don't hesitate to come back to us if you have other questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.